This is CTV News with Nafisa Karim.
This will probably be used before the sun falls.
Heightened alert. The number of overdoses surge in the Cowichan Valley, causing concern and a rush for more Naloxone. Also tonight.
Those donors have been instrumental in making all of this possible.
Honoring those who help the helpers as a West Shore group prepares for another mission to Ukraine. Plus, Adam finds out why a man who performs on stage started filling his garage full of typewriters. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin in the Cowichan Valley, where first responders are in the throes of a crisis. Island Health says illicit drug overdoses are surging. In one case, 80 in a single day. Here's CTV's Andy Garland with more on what's being done to save lives.
Sean Merrick carries Naloxone when he's on the streets of North Cowichan.
It happens every day down here. Every day, 2, 3, 4 times a day.
And he uses it frequently on people who have overdosed, including people he knows.
A good friend the other night, I didn't even know it was him until I rolled him over. I'm like, oh my God, it's my friend.
Just last week, Cowichan Valley's Canadian Mental Health Association says there were 46 overdoses in 6 hours, and they figure upwards of 80 happened within that 24-hour period.
We certainly handed out a ton of Naloxone in that evening and in the coming days. The rates have stayed quite high.
The association says they're still seeing around 5 overdoses a day, which has prompted Island Health to extend their overdose advisory for the Cowichan Valley.
We're particularly concerned about the toxic drugs that are circulating in the Cowichan Valley.
Island Health tested a sample of the poisonous batch circulating the valley and found it was laced with medetomidine, a sedative that does not respond to naloxone.
While the naloxone will bring breathing back on board, and really important to do rescue breathing and naloxone to keep somebody alive, they may not necessarily wake up right away.
North Cowichan's mayor says the crisis unfortunately highlights the need for more provincially funded treatment and recovery beds.
We have also taken a position as a municipality that we want to see the existing Cowichan District Hospital eventually repurposed into a facility for people with complex mental health and addictions needs.
The Mental Health Association adds that more housing is also needed to get people off the streets first in order to make the treatment recovery process work.
You need to have housing for people to come back to. So housing is absolutely key wraparound support to make any difference to help people.
Despite the spike in overdoses, BC Quarter says deaths have not climbed during the recent crisis.
This will probably be used before the sun falls.
Stats that speak to the brave work first responders and people like Sean are doing on the front lines. Andy Garland, CTV News, Cowichan Valley.
Signed, sealed, and delivered. The mayor of Oak Bay says a new policing agreement has been signed between his police department and the one in Saanich.
It's a good feeling to have this done. This has been a very positive process. We've been working closely with Saanich for a long time, and it was really down to just a few details. Being an operational document, it's very, very specific, right? What is included, what is not included, and so every department on both sides has to go through it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure everybody understands the language is plain and those sorts of things.
The old servicing agreement expired over the summer. A former BC Solicitor General reassured the public at the time, even when a contract collapses, Oak Bay would still have access to investigative support. The contract lays out services Saanich can provide to Oak Bay's much smaller department, including help with major crime investigations. The details of the new agreement haven't been shared. A team of humanitarians on southern Vancouver Island are making 4 deployments to war-torn Ukraine and are preparing for another. They're also honoring those who've helped them along the way. As CTV's Anna McMillan shows us, there's a lot more to do, including their goal of establishing a blood transfusion ward in a children's hospital.
Yes, we are now committed to our 5th deployment.
A celebration in Langford today for a small group of humanitarians and its supporters who've delivered hundreds of thousands of dollars in aid to war-torn Ukraine.
Each trip, we see more and more headstones, we see more and more flags.
Since the outset of the war, the team, known as Vancouver Island Supports Ukraine, has traveled there 4 times, supplying communities with food, medical equipment, generators, and more.
We'd like to go as soon as possible.
Go back to Ukraine Ukraine for their 5th deployment, meaning they'll need to lean on the local donors they're celebrating today.
Those donors have been instrumental in making all of this possible.
CTV's Brendan Strain is part of the team, broadcasting stories from each mission.
Every single time that we go back, the situation gets worse. There's more rolling blackouts, there's fatigue, there's more generators that are outside of businesses to keep the lights on.
For Mission 5, the primary goal is to establish a blood transfusion ward in a children's hospital in western Ukraine.
Every day we have a drone attack. We have a rocket attack in our region.
That's a doctor at the hospital, which needs $50,000 for the ward.
When a child comes in and they're in the OR, they're relying on having that blood product available to them immediately.
They want to raise another $40,000 to help 4 communities with smaller projects.
You always hope for things to get better, because there is no other way you can win this war.
Team lead Bob Beckett has another mission here at home that could offer more hope. He wants to establish programming in local schools to teach kids about global citizenship.
And develop tomorrow's leaders that believe in peace, leaders that work on equity both at home and abroad.
As the team prepares for its next mission, there's hope it could be their last, but an understanding that likely won't be the case as peace talks with Russia drag on.
At the end of the day, there's nothing that tells me that this war is coming to a conclusion anytime soon.
Making their fundraising efforts all the more meaningful and urgent as they look to their community for support. Anna McMillan, CTV News, Langford.
Conservation officers in Campbell River are dealing with a disruptive black bear. The bear has been seen frequenting the Elk Falls Provincial Campground, even damaging an unoccupied tent. While there have been no reports of the bear making contact with humans, it did lead to the evacuation of the campsite by conservation officers and RCMP. It remains closed while officials attempt to capture the bear. And a warning for anyone in and around the Pucklidge River in the coming weeks. BC Hydro is issuing a public safety advisory for the waterway. You're being urged to use caution around the Barber's Hole, Nymph Falls, and Stoughton Falls section of the river from December 1st to the 10th. Hydro says it will be increasing the spill from the Comox Dam for work on the powerhouse, and that means river flow in those areas will be stronger than usual. Well, there's good news and bad news from BC Ferries today, and a hint, the bad news is going to cost you. BC Ferries says starting next year, fares to walk on, drive on, and reserve a spot will all go up. On major routes, the fare for a standard vehicle and driver will climb from $95 to $110. The increase is for drive-up terminal payments and prepaid. Walk-on fares are also climbing. Adults will now pay $21. Children's fares rise to $10.50. The good news, BC Ferries says it will increase the number of fare saver spaces on select sailings to 30% of all bookable spots. The changes take effect on April 8th next year. A dedicated team at CFB Esquimalt is putting the final touches on more than 500 hours of work getting their parade float ready. They'll be joining 80 entries and thousands of people at Victoria's Peninsula Co-op Santa Claus Parade. The team says it saved money by repairing donated holiday lights and figure they have about 100,000 bulbs. And they've spaced them tighter this year to give some extra sparkle to the 53-foot float of a replica Navy warship.
We've got a few people that are super passionate about it. And whenever we come outside the fence line, we always want to be the biggest and the best. So it's our philosophy. When we're representing the entire Pacific Fleet, it's got to be good.
He's got a perfect name for the job. You can catch this crew towards the end of Saturday's parade. It has a new route this year, starting from Belleville and Government, then winding onto Wharf Street. The parade starts at 5:30. Road closures begin at 3:30. The Victoria restaurant is hoping you'll keep the festive spirit going by giving away free food. The breakfast shop on Cook and Fort Streets has a new fundraiser in support of CFAX Santa's Anonymous, and there's something in it for you. If you bring a toy, gift card, or a cash donation for the charity on Monday, December 8th, so you have a week to find a gift, and they'll be serving your food on the house.
The only thing we can't do is give away alcohol, but the whole menu's open. There's no, no caveats, no nothing. We're just like, it's our goodwill for Victoria's goodwill.
We see people hurting, and we see how there's struggle out there right now, and we just want to be a part of the community that's able to give back.
CFAC Santa's Anonymous has said its financial donations are down 70% over the same time last year. The toy drive is in partnership with the breakfast shop's other brands, which include Discovery Coffee, Jones Barbecue, and the Ruby. And they hope the event will see people lined up around the block. Well, it's Black Friday and it's a trade war. So how are Canadians shopping this year?
They may be tempted to let their values rest just for a little bit.
Are the deals enough to sway consumers away from the Buy Canadian movement?
We had some sunshine earlier today and temperatures hit a high of 10 degrees, but you can see it's cloudy now and we've cooled to just 6 degrees in Victoria. Should see some showers tomorrow across the island. We'll focus on that right after the break.
CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Explore the endless possibilities at one of our 36 BC locations. Learn more at expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
Josh, we are on the doorstep of the weekend. What do you got for us in the weather department?
Well, I think Sunday's probably going to be the drier of the 2 days, but even with this chance of showers, at least in Victoria tomorrow, it's more like just scattered precipitation. It's not going to be rain that lasts all day, so temperatures look not bad through the weekend, and after some wet days earlier this week, for the most part, Sunday should be fairly dry right across the island. 5 to 8 degree range across the island right now with light wind almost everywhere. There's the cloud cover that has moved back in. Those clouds will stick with us overnight tonight. You can see by tomorrow morning, this is 8 a.m. Already we've got some rain falling from Port Hardy down through towards Tofino on the west coast. Comox getting some rain through tomorrow morning. There's your chance of showers early to mid-afternoon in Nanaimo, and scattered showers as well for Victoria. But by supper time, looks like skies actually start to clear a little bit, and we should see partly cloudy to a mix of sun and cloud on the way for Sunday. I think more sun in the morning than the afternoon hours, but we'll call it a mix of sun and cloud on the whole. Partly cloudy skies in the north for tomorrow with a high of 7. You do get that chance of showers, though, pushing through early in the day. Temperatures through the rest of the weekend look not bad. 5 and 4 for highs for inland areas tomorrow and Sunday. Few showers tomorrow and then drier on Sunday. Steadier rain moving across the island on Monday. So early next week, back to some wet weather. 10 out along the west coast. A few scattered occasional showers. No real heavy, steady rain, though. And then cloudy with a few sunny breaks and 8 degrees on Sunday. In Comox, chance of showers, particularly through the morning. I think it'll dry up in the afternoon. Get to about 6 or 7 degrees Saturday and Sunday, so that's pretty close to average. And then rain rolls in Monday. In Nanaimo, 30% chance of a shower, as we just showed you on Futurecast. Looks like that'll be midday or early afternoon, if at all. High of about 6 degrees tomorrow, and then 6 or 7 for Sunday. And again, you've got rain in the forecast for Monday and into Tuesday of next week. And in Victoria, about 3 degrees tomorrow morning, so a cool start to the day. Some 2s and 3s as well, Sunday and Monday in the morning, and 8 degrees for a daytime high. So that's a couple of degrees cooler than today. Today, 10 degrees for the high. Tomorrow, you had the sunshine earlier in today. Tomorrow, we're not going to see a whole lot of sun, mostly cloudy, and then we'll call it, as we said, about a 30% chance of a shower early to mid-afternoon. Sunday, sunshine in the morning, a few clouds increasing through the afternoon hours, and a high of about 8 or 9 degrees. And then there's that system bringing rain for Monday. So almost everybody has a really good chance of seeing some steadier rain at some point on Monday. Temperatures around 6 degrees Monday in the rain, and then back close to average with some sunny breaks for Tuesday, Wednesday, and highs near 8 degrees. CTV weather's brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So, not bad temperatures, as we said. It's not going to be a complete washout through the weekend either. You should actually see a little bit of sunshine late in the day tomorrow, breaking through the clouds, and then early Sunday.
All right, thanks, Josh. Have a great weekend. Well, it is Black Friday and the discounting started early, with retailers hoping to convince Canadians to spend early and often. This year, many people have prioritized purchasing Canadian products, even if it costs more. But there are indications the lure of low prices ahead of the holidays may lead some to rethink that strategy. CTV's Andrew Johnson reports.
The decorations are up at Vancouver's Pacific Centre, whether shoppers are ready or not.
How's the budget this year? Are you spending more or less, the same?
I don't have one yet.
It's easy if you're spending someone else's money.
Are you planning to spend more money this year, less?
Yeah, I hope more.
How come?
Money of my boyfriend.
For many Canadians, it has been a year of careful spending and supporting local in the face of the U.S. trade war.
Buy Canadian is my priority.
Absolutely, I've been trying to buy Canadian.
But that isn't on everyone's radar.
Are you trying to buy Canadian or do you care?
I don't care.
One question now on Black Friday, featuring the biggest discounts of the year. Will saving money win out over patriotism? Analysts say it may.
Wallets are stretched, and so people who maybe were only buying Canadian, may be tempted, particularly for those big ticket items where there's a big gap between Canadian goods and perhaps US goods. They may be tempted to let their values rest just for a little bit.
There are indications that's happening already, not in the mall, but at the grocery store, where Canadians may be reverting back to their regular shopping habits. That's coming from the CEO of Loblaw, who recently said more shoppers are returning to U.S. products as prices have fallen, at a time of year that's not just crucial for retailers.
For us, it's about selective spending and making sure that you get value out of what you're spending your dollars on these days.
Dollars being pulled in many different directions at once. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
An update now on the search for 3 grizzly bears that were involved in an attack on an elementary school students and teachers in Bella Coola. The BC Conservation Officer Service says 2 additional bears have been captured in the area. The bears are being assessed, and forensic evidence from last week's attack is being analyzed. 2 other bears were previously captured, but they haven't been linked to the attack, so they've been tagged and relocated. A grizzly sow and her 2 cubs are believed to have attacked the school group. Airbus is warning there may be flight disruptions involving some of its planes as a result of a software update on thousands of its aircraft. The move reportedly has to be carried out on planes before their next flight. American Airlines says more than 300 of its jets are affected, but adds the software replacement will be mostly complete by tomorrow. Airbus says intense solar radiation may corrupt data critical to the functioning of flight controls. This comes after a JetBlue flight made an emergency landing in Florida in October, triggering an investigation. Coming up, garage band. Adam finds out how a classic rock singer became a typewriter mechanic. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
107.3 Virgin Radio is Victoria's #1 hit music station. Home of Bailey and Johnny in the morning. Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to 107.3 Virgin Radio everywhere.
Finally, Adam finds out why a man who spent decades performing on stage started filling his garage full of typewriters on this Encore Sawatsky sign-off.
It's my happy place.
The story behind this garage filled with typewriters begins at the back of it.
This is the very first machine.
One of 2 typewriters that Brendan bought on a whim at a yard sale.
And I thought, wow, those are kind of neat and old, and I bet I could get them working.
He painted the first one the same color as his car at the time, after figuring out how to fix it on his own.
The analog of it, for me, is what I really like.
But before he could solve the mechanical puzzle of the second typewriter, Brendan began touring the world as the lead singer of the AC/DC tribute band, BC/DC.
And it's great. It keeps going.
Except when the pandemic stopped it, and Brendan started tinkering with that second typewriter 27 years after the first one.
I just love the mechanics of it. And now I got about, 160.
Brendan has refurbished every one, accompanied by a soundtrack of not classic rock, but songs from whatever year the typewriter was built. His collection ranges from machines made during the war to fold compact during combat.
The guys would be in the trenches typing out.
To this more comical take on contemporary communication.
Tweets took a lot longer to get to where they were going. And then you'd have to wait for the reply in the mail.
And while his favorite typewriter is this Torpedo 18B,
types like a hot knife through butter.
Brendan rarely types anything on any of them.
It's like I'm a car mechanic who doesn't drive.
Instead, Brendan lends dozens of his typewriters to high school libraries so young people can get acquainted with the antiquated.
Brings you back to technology that isn't distracting.
Instead, these machines, designed to be fixed rather than disposed of, invite you to focus and compose something wonderful with words.
They're all full of stories. They're full of whatever's in your head.
Which is why Brendan says every one of them is worth saving.
There's a finite amount of them, so I want to try and keep them alive.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Port Moody.
That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. Today on CTV News, taking aim at extortion.
The shared goal that we all have here, disrupting, preventing, and ending this threat to our community.
New money to support victims of extortion-related violence, but victims say they want to feel safe before they're victimized. Also tonight, unusual assault. Police in Surrey looking for this woman, accused of breaking into a neonatal intensive care unit, but she wasn't trying to kidnap a baby. And
Buy Canadian is my priority.
Absolutely. I've been trying to buy Canadian.
It's Black Friday and there are sales everywhere, but the trade war has some spending more just so they can shop Canadian.
This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Extortion threats continue to plague business owners across the Lower Mainland, primarily Surrey's South Asian community. Today, the Premier met with local leaders and police and insisted the province is doing everything it can to solve the crisis. The federal and provincial governments are shelling out $1 million combined for police to support extortion victims in BC. The threats have led to dozens of reported shootings, some linked to the Lawrence Bishnoi gang, which is based in India. The federal government has also committed an additional $4 million for the extortion task force to chase down people involved in criminal drug activity.
We are united and working together to ensure that everybody who has been affected by these extortion threats gets the response that they deserve.
And I made the comment some time ago that Surrey has felt like an island for a very long time. We are not an island today, and I felt that today.
We will arrest you, and we will put you before the courts where you'll be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
The BC Extortion Task Force says 5 people have been deported, 96 people are being investigated. Coming up on CTV News at 6, we'll hear more from Surrey's mayor on the issue. We're getting more reaction about plans for a pipeline here in BC. Experts are weighing in, saying the deal signed between the Prime Minister and Alberta's Premier isn't likely to go ahead. Yesterday, the feds entered into a memorandum of understanding with Alberta over the construction of an Indigenous co-owned bitumen pipeline. For months, Premier David Eby has voiced his opposition. So too have First Nations. No one from the private sector has stepped up to build the pipeline. Critics don't believe it's feasible and say oil demand is declining anyway.
In China, for example, oil demand has already peaked and will decline because of the rapid adoption of zero-emission vehicles, and that's the target market for this pipeline. So the demand's not there.
This is setting the country up for a bruising political fight that will play out in a number of different venues.
Premier David Eby is meeting with Federal Energy and Natural Resources Minister Tim Hodgson this evening to further discuss the energy project. At least 7 people have been taken to hospital after a bus crashed near a copper mine in BC's Caribou region. The bus was carrying employees to the Gibraltar mine north of Williams Lake when it crashed early this morning. BC Emergency Health Services has told CTV News all are in stable condition. And it comes just 1 week after a contract worker was killed at the same mine. The circumstances of that death have not been made public. The lawyer for Ian Hunt, a Port Moody man charged with indignity to human remains in connection with the unsolved homicide of his wife, has once again successfully argued for a delay in the case. While supporters of Trina Hunt came to court for this morning's appearance, Ian Hunt, who isn't in custody, did not. CTV's Shannon Patterson has more.
After months of delays, friends, family and supporters of Trina Hunt came to Port Coquitlam Court this morning, hoping the case against her husband Ian Hunt would take a step forward. But they left disappointed. Trina Hunt's family members were visibly distraught when they left court after a judge granted a request from Ian Hunt's lawyer to adjourn the case again until January 19th.
We've come several times and nothing has happened. I think my frustration level is nothing compared to what it must be for the family.
In January 2021, Ian Hunt reported his wife missing, triggering an extensive search of their Port Moody neighborhood. Trina Hunt's body was found near Hope 2 months later. In June 2022, a man neighbors identified as Ian Hunt was arrested outside the couple's home and later released. This past February, he was charged with 1 count of indignity to human remains, which carries a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison. Are you still hopeful there may be additional charges laid here?
Yes, absolutely. Very hopeful.
Ian Hunt was not required to appear in court in person Friday morning and chose to listen to proceedings via video link. Were you hoping or expecting to see Mr. Hunt actually appear in court?
Yeah, that which might be kind of goofy of me to think that, but yes, I was hoping for that. And I was hoping that he would be there to see all the people supporting her family.
More than a dozen of Trina Hunt's friends, family and supporters sat in the courtroom, all wearing purple ribbons or scarves. Tell me about the purple. It meant something to Trina, right?
Trina loved purple. My understanding, it was her favorite color.
Supporters say they will be back here on December 19th for the next appearance in the case against Ian Hunt, whether he appears or not. Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Port Coquitlam. Police are looking for help identifying a woman who broke into the NICU at Surrey Memorial and made skin-to-skin contact with babies. Police say the suspect gained entry into the neonatal intensive care unit just before 7 a.m. October 28th. She then removed her shirt and made contact with 3 infants. No babies were injured, and hospital security removed her from the property. Anyone who recognizes the woman is asked to contact Surrey Police. An update now on the search for 3 grizzly bears that were involved in an attack on elementary school students and teachers in Bella Coola. The BC Conservation Officer Service says 2 additional bears have been captured in the area. Those bears are being assessed, and forensic evidence from last week's attack is being analyzed. 2 other bears were previously captured, but they haven't been linked to the attack, so they've been tagged and relocated. A grizzly sow and her 2 cubs are believed to have attacked the school route. Meantime, on the island, conservation officers in Campbell River are dealing with a disruptive black bear frequenting the Elk Falls Provincial Campground. While there have been no reports of the bear making contact with humans, it did damage an unoccupied tent and force the evacuation of the campsite. It remains closed while officials attempt to capture the bear. The City of Vancouver wants more restaurants to take their business outside with updates to the city's patio program.
But we also heard something loud and clear from the people who actually build and run these patios. The current system is incredibly complicated, costly, and confusing.
So the city is eliminating engineered drawings for simple patio designs, expanding the program so more businesses can participate. This includes a new basic low-cost design template and offering more flexible options for weather protection. The program will also include new accessibility requirements for curbside patios, including accessible seating options. Coming up, it's do or die for the Vancouver Whitecaps, 1 game away from the MLS Cup final. But first, it's Black Friday.
Are you planning to spend more money this year, less?
Yeah, I hope more.
How come?
Money of my boyfriend.
Well, it's easy to spend if it's someone else's money, but are you shopping the Black Friday sales? We'll dig into the discounts next. Ice skating is back at Robson Square, and elementary school students were among the first to give it a spin today. The holiday favorite attracts around 100,000 skaters every year. Well, the ice will be open to the public every day, including Christmas Day, until the end of February. It is one of the busiest buying days of the year as throngs of shoppers search out Black Friday deals in the kickoff to the holiday season. But small businesses have been facing some challenges, and with a recent push to support Canadian brands, are retailers seeing a difference? CTV's Dimitra Maragos hit the shops to find out.
For shoppers, it was worth the trek and the wait in traffic to get to the MacArthur Glen outlet in Richmond to save on Black Friday.
Got some shoes, some socks, and 2 bags.
Pretty good deals, to be honest.
With big box stores parking lots full and lineups out the door, how are local stores faring?
I think we're going to be okay this year, for sure.
At Make, they don't typically hold Black Friday sales, but this year,
we heard a lot of rumblings that it was going to be a big year for Canadians to shop locally.
They gave it a try, with discounts on some of their local brands.
The general consensus is shop Canadian, so it just made sense to focus on Canadian.
The Granville Island retailer may be in the minority. Recent data from Stats Canada shows only 13% of businesses reported an uptick in sales of Canadian products. Nearly 70% haven't seen an increase in consumers buying domestic.
Things are expensive right now, and small businesses understand how tough that is on families.
The Canadian Federation of Independent Business says shopping local benefits everyone in the long run.
This Black Friday, we're encouraging people to shop local, go to your local store, and keep your dollar within the local economy.
Back at Make, with so many local shops and artisans thriving on Granville Island, they're not worried about this holiday season.
People are going to be shopping local anyway, and Granville Island is the perfect place to do that.
Dimitra Maragos, CTV News, Vancouver.
The Pacific Coliseum is looking for a new name. The PNE announced today it's looking for a naming rights partner for the historic venue, as well as the PNE Agridome. Currently home of the Vancouver Golden Eyes, the Coliseum has also been a live music venue for decades, hosting everyone from Led Zeppelin to Bob Marley. PNE has already partnered with Freedom Mobile to name the new amphitheater, which is scheduled to open before the FIFA World Cup next summer. It's the biggest match of the season so far for the Vancouver Whitecaps. Tomorrow, the boys will be in San Diego to play the Western Conference Final and a chance to advance to the Major League Soccer Championship. Whitecaps CEO Axel Schuster stopped by Your Morning Vancouver to talk about it and says the boys are ready.
Everyone wants to go and everyone is good to go. No one at the end of the season is at 100%, but that's also true for the San Diego players. We watched the game on Monday, and also their players are not all any longer at 100%. This is game 52 for us. So, but everyone is ready and will be full energetic.
The Whitecaps will be without MLS Defender of the Year Tristan Blackman. He will miss the match due to a red card he received against LAFC. Kickoff tomorrow is 6 p.m. in San Diego. Well, gorgeous sunshine today. Will it last through the weekend? Ann's forecast is next. And later, first it was Jersey Shore, and now the drama has come north. It's called Canada Shore, and it was shot right here in BC. We have details still ahead.
This is a make or break assignment. Fail and I will split you up.
Hops and Wild are back, and they have to save the animal metropolis from a venomous snake. We'll get a review of Zootopia 2 right after the forecast, and it was gorgeous out today.
Yes, a fabulous Friday. Great way to end off the work weekend. Not a bad weekend ahead as well. Today, we saw a high of 10.1 degrees, 3 degrees above the seasonal average of 7.7. It was colder overnight with the clear conditions, with a low of 1.6 degrees, and a couple more days left in November. We won't see the monthly average rainfall of 171.2 millimeters. So far, we've seen 101.5 millimeters of rain. So this is what we can expect on our weather tracker. Overcast conditions through the overnight into tomorrow morning. Late morning into the afternoon, we could see a line of showers move its way through. Doesn't last very long, drying up with some sunny breaks and clearing out of the way as we head into tomorrow night. For the southern interior, you're looking at sunny breaks from Kamloops right down to Kelowna. Temperatures between 0 and 2 degrees. A few flurries for Nelson before it dries up with some sunny breaks and a high of 0. For the central interior, a mix of sun and cloud from Prince George right down to Williams Lake. Along the coast for Bella Coola, you'll see early morning flurries clearing up quite nicely with a high of 6 degrees. For the northern half of the province, for the most part, you're enjoying a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow with cold temperatures. Masset, though, you'll see 8 degrees with cloudy skies and a few showers. For the North Island, you'll see early morning rain clearing up through the afternoon. Temperatures between 6 and 7 degrees. For the South Island, overcast skies for the most part from Tofino right down to Victoria. Temperatures between 5 and 10 degrees. For the Sunshine Coast, cloudy with showers. Same story up the Sea to Sky Highway for Squamish at 6. A few flurries drying up for Whistler with a high of 1. And for us across the Lower Mainland, showers in the morning just along the coast. And then we'll see cloudy skies through the afternoon. 7 degrees across the board. Heading into Sunday, we'll see mostly cloudy skies and some sunny breaks and 7. A few showers expected on Monday, clearing up on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we'll see overcast skies with a high of 6. So a little blip on the radar, but nothing to worry about.
Feels like a good weekend to get the Christmas lights up.
Lights
right?
up,
Yeah.
trees up, presents done, for sure.
Okay, maybe not all of those
Okay,
things.
fine, lights up.
Thanks, Anne. Well, a pair of detectives find their partnership tested after a mysterious reptile turns the mammal metropolis of Zootopia upside down. Here's CTV film critic Matt Demers with his review of Zootopia 2.
No snake has set foot in Zootopia in forever.
Hops and Wild?
Wild and Hops. The dream team.
You know, the first movie, 2016, everyone wanted a sequel. We finally got it. Is it worth the wait? My answer is yes. They've done some wonderful world building here, and it's almost kind of this fun buddy cop, you know, animated comedy with lots to say once again. You know, that's the great thing about this movie is that yes, it's action-packed and it's vibrant and it's fun, but they've also got wonderful themes this time around. You know, what would make a great community and you know, believing in everybody equally. And yeah, I like this. Maybe a little too bloated. Maybe they're trying to do too much. That's my only negative aspect here. But otherwise, 3.5 stars out of 5.
And Zootopia 2 is expected to bring in up to $150 million US over the 5-day holiday period around American Thanksgiving. And that would be enough to claim the crown from Wicked for Good in its second weekend. The musical sequel is still expected to bring in another $90 million across North America over that same span. We're getting our first look at a new Canadian version of one of the most popular reality shows in TV history, and it was shot here in BC. Canada Shore is coming to Paramount Plus at the beginning of 2026 after being filmed in Kelowna during the summer. The show will feature a cast of 10, quote, larger-than-life roommates from across Canada. Only one cast member, though, Emmett, being from BC. Canada Shore will be available on streaming beginning January 22nd. Still ahead, how a walk on a beach led to an Ontario man discovering a shipwreck. Plus, surf's up in the snow. We'll show you an icy adrenaline rush for some surfers who won't let sub-zero temperatures stop them. Stay with us. Crowds of people gathered outside of St. Paul's Hospital as it was lit aglow with thousands of Christmas lights last night. Lights of Hope marks the start of a fundraising campaign to enhance care for thousands of patients and long-term care residents in BC. The display represents the culmination of a 6-week construction effort led by more than 100 volunteers. The fourth alleged member of last month's jewel heist at the Louvre was charged today in France. Paris prosecutors say that all 4 suspects believed to have carried out the brazen robbery have now been arrested and charged. The jewels are valued at around $102 million and have not been recovered. And getting a first-hand look at Mona Lisa's smile is about to cost a lot more money. The Louvre Museum has announced a 45% price hike on entrance tickets for non-Europeans. Starting in mid-January, 1 ticket will cost the equivalent of $52 Canadian. Officials say the move will bring in about $20 million a year, which will be used for upgrades and improvements, hopefully to their security system. Now the preview to CTV News at 6, Mi Jung Lee.
Navisa will have the latest on efforts to tackle a terrifying crime spree. 3 levels of government and police gathered for a summit to focus on catching the criminals behind extortion violence that has rocked the South Asian community. What we're learning about an arrest of a suspect in India. And health officials are warning about a drug crisis on Vancouver Island. 80 people overdosed in 1 day. What health officials are finding inside the drugs. And it's a big weekend for shopping and Christmas lights. Some highlights coming up in our weekly roundup of Friday feel-goods. I'll be back at 6. Nafisa.
Thanks, Mi Jung. A new satellite is capturing incredible images of Earth and doing it in record time. Plus, scientists use subaquatic technology to scour underwater canyons. CNN's Patrick Cornell has today's Take a Look at This.
Check out these fantastic new perspectives of our planet seen from sea and space. Starting from up above, rapidly returned images of Earth courtesy of the European Space Agency's new eye in the sky, the Copernicus Sentinel-1D satellite, such as this stunning view of the Tierra del Fuego, South America's southern tip, contrasted using multiple types of radar waves to showcase the land in yellow and snowy mountain peaks in blue. About 600 miles south, the Antarctic Peninsula in black and white contrast the ocean and the continent's icy landscape. The satellite launched in early November and started returning these stunning images within 50 hours, something the space agency says is likely a record launch-to-data delivery time for such a satellite. The Copernicus program is intended to supply night and day imagery of Earth's surface in all weather conditions for scientific observation, as well as aiding in emergency response and humanitarian crises. Let's leave space and dive down to the depths of the ocean off the coast of Argentina, where scientists are scouring underwater canyons to collect data and examine a wide array of marine life. The Schmidt Ocean Institute launching a variety of subaquatic tech to map 4 submarine canyons and study how currents affect the seafloor. Scientists plan to spend the next few months studying how those currents fuel plankton blooms, the base food in the area's robust marine ecosystem. Along the way, giving us a super cool view of some interesting critters that call the canyons their home. And if science isn't your jam, try an adrenaline rush like these guys surfing in the frigid waters of Lake Superior. With snow covering sandy beaches, these adventure seekers thought it would be the perfect time to throw on some wetsuits and catch some waves.
It's instant brain freeze as soon as you go underwater.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
We've got some more secrets of the sea, but this is more a Great Lakes. So an Ontario man was surprised when his walk on the beach turned up a centuries-old shipwreck.
Wow.
Matt Vermette, or maybe it's Matt Vermetti, I'm not sure, captured this footage along Lake Erie near Kingsville, Ontario. The skeleton of a shipwreck was exposed by strong winds. Now, historians believe it may be the Deming or the Overton, both I'm sure you're familiar with. Both schooners date back before the 1900s. I'm gonna have to Google both of them now.
Starboard?
Aft?
Maybe.
Port?
All right, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot tonight. A spectacular day in Squamish at the Squamish Feather Park. Thanks, Deanna, for sending this one in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well, so email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca. And right at the bottom there, that's 13-year-old Lily.
Oh, Lily, hello. You're on the news.
Yes.
Mi Jung will be back for CTV News at 6. Right now, here's John Venavalley Rao with CTV National News.